At what age do you teach your girl child about virginity? This is something of concern. This is a thing of concern. At what age do you normally tell your child about virginity? We are busy telling the child your private part, nobody should touch your private. It's good. Yes, it's very good. But you have to explain something for them. You know, these children of these days, the way they behave, they want to know more. They want to know more about that particular thing. Now, a child, there is this question I normally get each time I try to teach children about virginity. They will ask me, auntie or mommy, what if we travel to, maybe we are living in Lagos, then we'll travel to Abuja and we now had it, maybe we mistakenly or something happened, we now have, we meet with a boy in that place that we travel, then we later come back to Lagos. How would the person in Lagos now know that we did it in Abuja? I will laugh. The first time I get this question, I was like, God help me, how do I really teach this before I come up with this thing that I'm about to teach you now? And it's very important to show it to your girl child. Share this video. It's very, very important for our children. So please try and share this video. When a girl is 3 years, at 2, you will start telling the child, even when the child is 1 plus, you will be telling the child, don't let anybody touch you in your private part. But once that child reaches 3 years, call that child, sit that child down, tell the girl that your body is like this, your private part is like this, your vagina is like this. Let them know that if maybe somebody put hand, even if it like, let it be you that has the body, because you tell the child don't allow another person, then the child will now carry her hand and put inside the private part. Once you push it inside, there is something that covers here that is called hymen. Once that hymen break, you are no longer a virgin. So I'm not talking about when you are riding, because when we are going up, they say riding bicycle can break. Forget about all those old tricks. When you are using your hand to finger yourself, it is very, very bad, because all these things is what they need to know, and tell them that the dangers in doing that. Now, your fellow girl, you're a girl, a fellow girl is touching your breast, a fellow girl is touching your private part. Let them know that is wrong. That one is a topic of another day. But now what we are focusing on, being a virgin, how to know that you are still a virgin, how to avoid being this virgin unaware, how to avoid being this virgin unaware. So now your fellow girl now come, maybe that girl already know that you're a virgin, she now put hand in your private part and was now trying to push it inside. What is she doing in that place? She mistakenly break that hymen. She will tell you, instead of you to go to a boy, it's better we do it after we have girls. Let them know that is abomination. Yes, tell them, let them know that that thing is abomination. Because ndị be na nkuzi pụtara, nkọwa pụtara sịrị na. Why am I using English to do this? Because I want everybody to get to know about this. Now, let that child know that our fellow girl can disvirgin her. Yes, she can. Her fellow girl can disvirgin her. Once the girl put hand here and forcefully force it inside, it will break that hymen, and that child body private part will now be like this. You as a small girl, go and meet with a boy, maybe in school or maybe outside school, or maybe you are playing, your parents is not around, you now want to meet a boy, and the boy now pushed his private part inside this place that is tight like this. He now push it and was able to push it inside. Once the boy break that hymen there, the child is no longer a virgin. So please tell them, let them know, because they don't know all these things. You have to call them, sit them down. I don't know how many times you call your small girls and explain all these things to them. If you don't teach them, another person will teach them outside. So it's very, very necessary you let them know all these things on time before it's too late. Let them know. A child of 3 years needs to know this. Yes, 3 years. 3 years now. Don't say that they are 3 years. What do they know? Why am I talking this kind of thing with? Wait until one uncle will mistakenly go and do it before you know that you need to use your hand as a mother and teach your child this. Let them always guide it. Yes. Tell them to always guide that place. That place is a no-go area. They should always guide it, protect it with everything they have. Something happened one day. That is why I said it's important you teach them to know the vagina and the anus and difference between their buttock. Because one day my daughter went to school, because I normally tell them, don't let anybody touch your vagina. Don't. She now went to school and came back and said, Mommy, somebody touched my private part. I said, your private part? Somebody touched your private. How? He said he touched my private part. The next day I went to school. I called the owner of the school. After explaining to the person, he now said, my dear, where did the person touch? As a mother, I even forgot to ask, where did the person touch? He now said he tapped me on my buttock. You understand? So it's important you let them know all these things. Tell them, this is what you need to know. This is your private part. This is that. This. Don't just generalize everything. Let them know their vagina. Let them know what is their buttocks. Let them know their anus. Somebody, there is another, this brought me to another question. Somebody asked, after teaching this thing to one group of, I gathered group of children, after teaching them this, letting them know this, somebody went to the back and was among those children that I taught this, so I was telling them, they are like, say, 10, 11, 12 years. He said, even if you want to do it and you don't want anybody to know that you did it, that you go through anus. Can you imagine what is happening around us? And one of them came and meet me. He said, Auntie, what if the thing now happened that you go through the anus? I was short of words. Go through the anus. Your anus. Nothing is supposed to enter your anus. Your anus. If something should enter it, it is not elastic. Let them know it is not elastic. Once something enter your anus and enter again, before you know it, your anus will remain open and you will be wearing diaper. You'll be wearing diaper. Because if you want to poo, that elasticity that God creates that's supposed to hold your poo is no longer there. Why? Because something is entering through that place. You will now be, if you are pooing now, it will not be coming out. You start wearing diaper. Till when? Till when? For all these Gen Z girls that will always go, you want to do it, let's do it through the anus. What is happening in our generation? What is happening? What is happening? Please, that one is a no-no. Sickness, you can even contact sickness where you pass west and somebody is putting his private part through it, into it, and later you will now put it inside your body again. So please, this is what I have to tell you, and this is the reason I came today to share this update. Please share this. Let it get to our young girls. Let it get to our little ones. And let's start protecting them now that they are small. I just pray that God will help us in teaching these young girls, because it's not easy. If you have a girl child, you will know what I'm talking about. It is not easy at all. It is not easy. You will try your best. After teaching, they will go to school and here learn another one. But you as a mother, you have to make them your friend. Yes, make them your friend so that whatever thing you are teaching them, they will be understanding it. I just pray that God will help us.